Um, my next guest is Dr. Kiran Bedi, the former Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry and a proud Delhi citizen who also speaks out on these issues. Appreciate your joining us, Dr. Bedi. You've now said on Twitter that you've written to the Prime Minister, or at least petitioned him through Twitter, calling on Mr. Modi to set up a coordination committee, a group of ministers, chief ministers of affected states, especially in the national capital region. But isn't it all too little too late? Air pollution, ma'am, has been around for years now. The truth is the government has just not woken up to the challenge.
Yes, we've had a serious decline last few years. Unfortunately, we messed up the last few years. That's a fact. We messed up the last few years. And today we are bearing the brunt. The point is, why should we not start the recovery even now and clean up the mess of the last decade? It's been decades because every department is involved. There's a transport department, there's a municipality involved, there's agriculture involved, there's industry involved. Tell me which department is not involved. Even enforcement. The point is, if we have messed out the last 1 decade, which we did. We went from bad to worse. But can we continue with the decline? And that's why I requested that now that we are in command and control and the mess is behind, why don't we clean up the mess and start working on it? And there are low-hanging fruits and there are higher ones. We can start with the doables in every ministry: agriculture, industry, sanitation, municipality, construction. So why should we wait? But the fact that we are all bearing the brunt of misgovernance, I tell you, misgovernance of the last decade now.
You know, but the last decade, ma'am, has seen Prime Minister Modi firmly at the center. Surely the center should be the one calling all these meetings on the environment, on pollution. This coordination cannot just be done when there is an air emergency in November. It should be done right around the year. Clearly, air pollution, frankly, was not treated seriously by governments, either at the center or in several states, as a priority issue. That's the harsh reality.
Now, I think the problem was a total lack of, there was distrust. There was a breakdown of relationships. It was a breakdown of governance.
That's the Modi and AAP.
Why not? But I think there was a total lack of trust and a breakdown. But where's the breakdown now? Now we can work together. Why don't we work it? I am witness to the breakdown. It was terrible mistrust. But now there's no reason not to step in. That's my problem is, step in because all these ministries, that's why I said group of ministries, because it involves enforcement. And enforcement, that's why I requested even the MHA, the Ministry of Home Affairs, to be part of it. So therefore, now there's no excuse. But I'm telling you, we are bearing the brunt of misgovernance of last 1 decade.
You know, you're referring to NCR, the battle, the mistrust between the AAP government that was there and the center. But the truth of the matter is it's not just NCR, ma'am, anymore. You are at the moment in Mumbai. Look at the pollution levels there. They've spiked. This is an all-India problem. Some of the worst, most polluted cities today are in India, across India. I come back to it. The fact is it hasn't been taken seriously. And it reveals a lack of focus on a critical issue, our right to breathe clean air. Do you agree that this cannot be just confined to NCR, but it is a pan-India problem now?
That's another reason. That's another reason why I'm asking for leadership control. That's another reason I'm asking, because this is a problem which is now national. And it's growing nationally. It's getting exposed now. And therefore, I would say that is the reason. While it's beyond control, it's beyond it's like drowning us in. We're getting drowned in it. But so is Bombay reporting and so are others. So I think that's the point I'm saying, that that's the reason it's now for government of India to step in. The QM Commission will not do. The QM Commission is under a retired bureaucrat. Despite his efforts, whatever his efforts, due respect to him, I think this commission needs to be headed by an honorable cabinet minister who answers the parliament and who is accountable and who gets back to the cabinet. Because it involves 5 states, 5 chief ministers, 5 chief secretaries, so many districts. So this is not the job of one retired civil servant. Now it's a job of a strong cabinet minister
Right.
of environment who reports, and maybe even group of ministers, I've been saying, because there's no more one minister problem. And it's truly a national problem, as you rightly said. Bombay was also ruling. So before Mumbai also gets worse, goes the Delhi way, we should save it. Therefore, it needs a national understanding, national consensus, national action, national plan, national strategy.
No, no, man. Give me one doable. You've said there are doables. Give me a low-hanging fruit doable that tomorrow morning we can do to help improve the air quality. Give me one doable.
Sanitation, clean up the roads, and by not dusting them, clean up the roads but not dusting them, but in such a manner that we clear the dust off, because the primary reason for pollution is road dust.
Kiran Bedi, thank you very much for joining me here on our air emergency debate.